In the Abrahamic religions, Gabriel is an angel who typically serves as a messenger sent from God to certain people. Gabriel is mentioned in both the Old and New Testaments of the Bible. In the Old Testament, he appears to the prophet Daniel, delivering explanations of Daniel's visions. In the Gospel of Luke, Gabriel appeared to Zechariah and the Virgin Mary, foretelling the births of John the Baptist and Jesus, respectively. In the book of Daniel, he is referred to as the man Gabriel, while in the Gospel of Luke, Gabriel is referred to as an angel of the Lord. Gabriel is not called an archangel in the Bible, but is called in intertestamental period sources like the Book of Enoch. In the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches, the archangels Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel are also referred to as saints. In Islam, Gabriel is considered an archangel whom God is believed to have sent with revelation to various prophets, including Muhammad. The 96th chapter of the Quran, the Qur'an, is believed by Muslims to have been the first chapter revealed by Gabriel to Muhammad. Judaism. Gabriel is interpreted by the Rabbanim to be the man in linen in the book of Daniel and the book of Ezekiel. In the book of Daniel, he is responsible for interpreting Daniel's visions. Gabriel's main function in Daniel is that of revealer, a role he continues in later literature. In the book of Ezekiel, Gabriel is understood to be the angel that was sent to destroy Jerusalem. According to the Jewish encyclopedia, Gabriel takes the form of a man, and stands at the left hand of God. Shimon ben Lakish concluded that the angelic names of Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel came out of the Babylonian exile. In Kabbalah, Gabriel is identified with the Sephirot of Yesod. Gabriel also has a prominent role as one of God's archangels in the Kabbalah literature. Gabriel is portrayed as working in concert with Michael as part of God's court. Gabriel is not to be prayed to because only God can answer prayers, and sends Gabriel as his agent. According to Jewish mythology, in the Garden of Eden there is a tree of life, the tree of souls, that blossoms and produces new souls, which fall into the GUF, the treasury of souls. Gabriel reaches into the treasury and takes out the first soul that comes into his hand. Then Layla, the angel of conception, watches over the embryo until it is born. Christianity. Old Testament. The angel Gabriel is mentioned in Daniel chapter 8 verse 16 to 26 and 9:20-27. Gabriel, one who looked like a man, interprets Daniel's visions, and Daniel was terrified and fell prostrate. Gabriel speaks to Daniel while he is in a deep sleep, and Daniel is tired and sick for days after being with Gabriel. In chapter 9, verse 20-21, Gabriel again appears to Daniel as he was praying, giving him insight and understanding in an answer to prayer. New Testament. First, concerning John the Baptist, an angel appeared to his father Zechariah, a priest of the course of Abia, whose barren wife Elizabeth was of the daughters of Aaron, while he ministered in the temple. After completing his week of ministry, Zechariah returned to his house and his wife Elizabeth conceived. After she completed 5 months of her pregnancy, Gabriel is mentioned again. Gabriel only appears by name in those 2 passages in Luke. In the first passage the angel identified himself as Gabriel, but in the second it is Luke who identified him as Gabriel. The only other named angels in the New Testament are Michael the archangel and Abaddon. Gabriel is not called an archangel in the Bible. Believers are expressly warned not to worship angels. Gabriel's horn. The trope of Gabriel blowing a trumpet blast to indicate the Lord's return to earth is especially familiar in Negro spirituals. However, though the Bible mentions a trumpet blast preceding the resurrection of the dead, it never specifies Gabriel as the trumpeter. Different passages state different things. The angels of the Son of Man, the voice of the Son of God, God's trumpet, 7 angels sounding a series of blasts, or simply a trumpet will sound. In related traditions, Gabriel is again not identified as the trumpeter. In Judaism, trumpets are prominent, and they seem to be blown by God himself, or sometimes Michael. In Zoroastrianism, there is no trumpeter at the Last Judgment. In Islamic tradition, it is Israfil who blows the trumpet, though he is not named in the Quran. The Christian Church Fathers do not mention Gabriel as the trumpeter. Early English literature similarly does not. The earliest known identification of Gabriel as the trumpeter comes in John Wycliffe's 1382 tract, De Ecclesiae Dominio. In the year 1455, in Armenian art, there is an illustration in an Armenian manuscript showing Gabriel sounding his trumpet as the dead climb out of the graves. 2 centuries later, Gabriel is identified as the trumpeter in John Milton's Paradise Lost. Later, Gabriel's horn is omnipresent in Negro spirituals, but it is unclear how the Byzantine conception inspired Milton and the spirituals, though they presumably have a common source. Gabriel's horn also makes an appearance in the Eyes of Texas, where it signifies the rapture. In Mark Connolly's play based on spirituals, The Green Pastures, Gabriel has his beloved trumpet constantly with him, and the Lord has to warn him not to blow it too soon. 4 years later, Blow, Gabriel, Blow, was introduced by Ethel Merman in Cole Porter's Anything Goes. Feast days. The Feast of St. Gabriel was included for the first time in the general Roman calendar in 1921, for celebration on March 24. In 1969 it was transferred to the 29th of September for celebration together with St. Michael and St. Raphael. The Church of England has also adopted the 29th of September date, known as Michaelmas. The Eastern Orthodox Church and those Eastern Catholic churches which follow the Byzantine Rite celebrate his feast day on the 8th of November. Eastern Orthodox commemorate him not only on his November feast, but also on 2 other days. The 26th of March is the Synaxis of the Archangel Gabriel, and celebrates his role in the Annunciation. The 13th of July is also known as the Synaxis of the Archangel Gabriel, and celebrates all the appearances and miracles attributed to Gabriel throughout history. The feast was first established on Mount Athos when in the 9th century, during the reign of Emperor Basil II and the Empress Constantina Porphyrogenitus, and while Nicholas Chrysovergus was Patriarch of Constantinople. The Archangel appeared in a cell near Caries, where he wrote with his finger on a stone tablet the hymn to the Theotokos, "It is truly meet." The Ethiopian Church celebrates his feast on the 28th of December, with a sizable number of its believers making a pilgrimage to a church dedicated to St. Gabriel in Kalubi on that day. Additionally, Gabriel is the patron saint of messengers, those who work for broadcasting and telecommunications such as radio and television, remote sensing, postal workers, clerics, diplomats, and stamp collectors. Latter-day Saint teachings. In Latter-day Saint theology, Gabriel is believed to have lived a mortal life as the prophet Noah. The two are regarded as the same individual, Noah being his mortal name and Gabriel being his heavenly name. Islam. Gabriel is venerated as an archangel and as the angel of revelation in Islam, as the Bible portrays Gabriel as a divine messenger sent to Daniel, Mary, and Zechariah. So holds Islamic tradition that Gabriel was sent to numerous pre-Islamic prophets with revelation and divine injunctions, including Adam, whom Muslims believe was consoled by Gabriel sometime after the fall. According to Muslim belief, God revealed the Quran to the Islamic prophet Muhammad through the angel Gabriel, and the 53rd chapter of the text describes the angel without naming him, in a passage that Islamic commentators have unanimously interpreted as referring to Gabriel. The passage in question, 53-4-11, reads, Gabriel is also named numerous times in the Quran. In 2-92-96, the Quran mentions Gabriel along with Michael, who is also venerated as an exalted angel in Islam. In Muslim tradition, Gabriel is considered one of the primary archangels. Exegesis narrates that Muhammad saw Gabriel in his full angelic splendor only twice, the first time being when he received his first revelation. Muslims also revere Gabriel for a number of historical events predating the first revelation. Muslims believe that Gabriel was the angel who informed Zechariah of John's birth as well as Mary of the future nativity of Jesus, and that Gabriel was one of 3 angels who had earlier informed Abraham of the birth of Isaac. All of these events can be found also in the Quran. Gabriel also makes a famous appearance in the Hadith of Gabriel, where he questions Muhammad on the core tenets of Islam. Baha'i faith. The Baha'i faith sees Gabriel as a messenger of God who delivered messages to Muhammad. He is mentioned in the Kitab IQAN, the primary theological work of the Baha'i religion. Art, entertainment, and media. Angels are described as pure spirits. The lack of a defined form allows artists wide latitude in depicting them. Amelia R. Brown draws comparisons in Byzantine iconography between portrayals of angels and the conventions used to depict court tunics. Mainly from the Caucasus, they tended to have light eyes, hair, and skin, and those castrated in childhood developed a distinctive skeletal structure, lacked full masculine musculature, body hair and beards. As officials, they would wear a white tunic decorated with gold. Brown suggests that Byzantine artists drew consciously and not on this iconography of the court tunic. Some recent popular works on angels consider Gabriel to be female or androgynous. Festivals. Baltimore's Little Italy has for over 80 years hosted an annual end of summer St. Gabriel festival that features a procession with a statue of the saint carried through the streets. Film 1951. Fantasy angels in the outfield often praised to St. Gabriel to help her beleaguered Pittsburgh Pirates, and he does. 1995. Horror film The Prophecy. Gabriel, portrayed by Christopher Walken, searches for an evil soul on Earth during an end-of-days angelic civil war. Gabriel is also a character in The Prophecy 2 and The Prophecy 3, The Ascent. 2004. Action horror film Van Helsing. Hugh Jackman plays Gabriel Van Helsing, the Archangel in the Flesh. 2005. Fantasy horror film Constantine. Tilda Swinton portrays an androgynous Archangel Gabriel, the film's main antagonist on the brink of the apocalypse. 2007. Action horror film Gabriel. Gabriel fights to save the souls in purgatory by defeating the evil fallen angels. 2010. Apocalyptic supernatural action film Legion. Kevin Durand plays the role of Archangel Gabriel, the leader of the angel army, and the main antagonist. Games 2005. Spanish role-playing game Anima. Beyond fantasy, Gabriel is, as the humans know, one of the 7 beryls, and is identified with the archangel of the same name. She has associated love, friendship, arts, and peace. Literature. In his epic poem Paradise Lost, John Milton made Gabriel chief of the angelic guards placed over paradise. The Hebrew poem, A Lifelet by Nathan Altman, put to music and often heard on the Israeli radio, tells of a heroic, self-sacrificing Israeli soldier being killed in battle. Upon the protagonist's death, the angel Gabriel descends to earth in order to comfort the spirit of the fallen hero and take him up to heaven. The main character of Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses believes that he is the modern incarnation of Gabriel. 2012 Japanese light novel series No Game No Life. Gabriel is a member of the Fugal race and was a member of the Council of 18 Wings, a prominent section in the government. She is depicted as loving knowledge and books. Music. The eccentric English hagiographer and antiquarian Sabine Baring-Gould wrote the English lyrics to Gabriel's message, which he translated from the Basque Christmas carol Virgina Gastetto bat Zigon, which was probably related to the 13th or 14th century Latin chant Angelus ad Virginem, which itself is based on the biblical account of the Annunciation in the Gospel of Luke. In Creed's song, My Own Prison, Gabriel is mentioned deciphering the visions to the main character in the song. Visual art. See also Gabriel Gallery in Commons. Daniel chapter 8 verse 15 describes Gabriel as appearing in the likeness of man, and in Daniel chapter 9 verse 21 he is referred to as the man Gabriel. David Everson observes that such anthropomorphic descriptions of an angel are consistent with previous descriptions of angels, as in Genesis chapter 19 verse 5. Gabriel is most often portrayed in the context of scenes of the Annunciation. In 2008, a 16th-century drawing by Lucas van Leyden of the Netherlands was discovered. George R. Goldner, chairman of the Department of Prints and Drawings at New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art, suggests that the sketch was for a stained-glass window. The fact that the archangel is an ordinary-looking person and not an idealized boy is typical of the artist, said Goldner. In chronological order: Archangel Gabriel, early 10th century, Bernardino Museum. The Archangel Gabriel, Pisan, c. 1325, 50th National Gallery of Art. The Archangel Gabriel, Marcellino da Panical, c. 1420, 30th National Gallery of Art. Justice between the Archangels Michael and Gabriel, Jacobello del Fiore, 1421. Marode Altarpiece, Robert Campin, c. 1425, Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Angel Gabriel, Agostino di Duccio, c. 1450. Annunciation, Leonardo da Vinci, c. 1475. The Angel Gabriel, Nerico de Landi, c. 1490. The Angel Gabriel, late 15th or early 16th century, Flemish National Gallery of Art. The Angel Gabriel, Ferrari Gaudenzio, 1511, National Gallery, London. Gabriel delivering the Annunciation, El Greco, 1575. Go Down Death, Aaron Douglas, 1934. Television 1960, The Twilight Zone episode. A passage for trumpet. The down-and-out musician Joey Crown meets an enigmatic trumpet player named Gabe in what has been described as Rod Serling's version of It's a Wonderful Life. 2005 TV series Supernatural. Gabriel is a runaway archangel posing as the demigod Loki who kills people he deems evil with a sense of humor. But series protagonists Sam and Dean Winchester eventually discover his true nature. He is also known as the Trickster. 2014 Sci-Fi Channel original series Dominion. Gabriel is the series antagonist, who plans to kill the Archangel Michael and annihilate humanity. 2015 In The Walking Dead Season 5, Rick's group encounters a priest called Father Gabriel Stokes, who performs some nefarious acts, behaves as if they haunt him, and in Spend tells Alexandria's leaders Deanna and Reg Munro that Rick's group is evil and untrustworthy.